Hi, I'm Tara. I'm Olivia's mom. I thought I would just tell you a little bit about Olivia and how we got to where we are with her dyslexia diagnosis. So Olivia is 7. She's in the 2nd grade. She was a young kindergartner and a young 1st grader, and she struggled with reading and writing in both of those grades. But she kept up for the most part. Never did any teachers have any red flags that thought she might have any sort of learning disability, just that she struggled. And we just attributed it at the time to her being young for her grade. She was one of the youngest ones in her class, and we thought, oh, she'll get there. She'll catch up. But really, instead of catching up, she was falling more and more behind. So, for example, in her 1st grade spelling, we would work all week long on spelling words. And she seemed like she had them down, but then when it came to the spelling test, she'd end up missing quite a few. And then the following week, those words that she worked hard to spell, she would completely not even recognize when she was reading them. So halfway through 1st grade, we started homeschooling Olivia and her older brother. Not for any specific reasons related to her difficulty in school, but that was one of the reasons. So homeschooling was for a lot of different reasons, but it helped us realize that there was a problem. One-on-one, when I was working with her, red flags were flying up to me all over the place. You know, the classic things like reversing letters, spelling was poor, reading she really struggled with. And not only did she struggle with it, but she hated it. She thought she couldn't read, so that led to her not wanting to read. And I knew something was going on. So not really knowing what to do or where to turn, the first thing I did was I just went online and found some, credible websites that had assessments, quick kind of big picture kind of things. And based on those, they all said that she showed signs of dyslexia. And I know that's not any sort of official thing, but I thought, hey, maybe it can lead me in one direction or the other. So after that, I contacted our school district. Even though we homeschool, we can use resources at our local school. So they gave Olivia a quick reading assessment just to kind of get a picture of where she was, and that indicated that she was behind, scoring in the 15th percentile in some of the categories that they tested. So it took us a while to kind of figure out what to do next and where to go. There really aren't a lot of resources. There aren't a lot of places to turn like you might think there would be. So we talked to our pediatrician, and she suggested some educational psychologist testing, and that's what we did. And really, this whole process sounds like it happened fast, but it didn't. It was probably the end of the school year last year, so the end of her 1st grade school year, that we started this process, that I kind of realized something was going on. And so this is February now of the following year that we finally have an official answer or an official diagnosis. And that came after testing with an educational psychologist who tested her IQ all the way down to her math ability, her reading ability, her attention span. And they diagnosed her with dyslexia, in addition to ADHD. But her IQ is high. She has a 116 IQ. So we always knew she was smart and that she was capable of doing things that she was unable to do. So this is where we're at now. I'm not going to, pretend that I am an expert on dyslexia, because I am the exact opposite. This is new to me. I did find out, however, that it's hereditary. And when I started asking people questions about it, like in my husband's family, turns out it runs in his family. He's got a couple aunts that are dyslexic, cousins that are dyslexic. So it's all new to me. I'm officially Olivia's teacher, and I struggle with my confidence if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm a big reader. My son's a big reader. That's kind of how I plan to teach my kids, is through books. but we gotta figure out a new plan for Olivia, and we'll get there. So I'm not at all worried about her and her confidence and ability, because I know she can pretty much do whatever she puts her mind to. But I just have to kind of get used to it and figure out a way to make it work for her. So this is just kind of the beginning for us. We haven't even really found a good therapy program in our area. And again, there aren't a lot of options for kids who have dyslexia. We kind of are still working with our school district to figure out what they can provide for us and what's available for her. So we just wanted to kind of document this process for her, and so, show her progress now as opposed to hopefully in a couple of years when she's learned to live with this or work through it. So I kind of am going to post videos occasionally just of Olivia and kind of how she gets through things and what she does to learn and where she's at now versus where she hopefully will be at when she's had some therapy. So I just kind of wanted to show you an example of Olivia's writing, and actually she just drew this. It's actually pretty good for what she normally does, as far as spelling goes. Some of her spelling, though, you can tell that it's not phonetic at all, and she tends to she spells it how she thinks it sounds, and sometimes you can make it out. I've learned to figure out what things mean just because I read it all the time. But so here's an example of some of her. It's a checklist. She's big on checklists. So this is bag. This is breakfast, lunch, water bottle. She uses R's for E's quite often. I'm not sure what's behind that. Snacks, books, and actually I forgot to ask her what this says, but this one I don't know if I could make that out. So that's just an example of her writing, some of her writing samples. I asked her if she wanted to read a book for you. She's not up for that right now. And a lot of books that she reads, she's memorized, which, she's read them so much or have had them read to her. She can read like simple, I'd say kindergarten, first grade level that don't require a lot of comprehension. If it comes to a paragraph, she get through it. But she couldn't tell you what she read because she has to work so hard to read each word. By the time she gets to the end of it, she doesn't know what it means. Or she guesses at words. So, for example, the word was bald dog. She might think it said old dog or bad dog, which totally changes the meaning of a sentence. So then when you answer questions about it, she doesn't know. So that's kind of where we're starting. I hope you watch. She's a very interesting kid, and she'll, I'm sure, keep you entertained, and hopefully we'll learn something along the way. So thanks for watching. Again, Olivia's channel is called Only Olivia, and hopefully you get something out of it. Thanks. Bye.